When I got out of prison, I decided to get a tattoo. My daughter had written me a letter, and she had found a quote, and it says, "Think not that I am what I once was." When I was 30, I had 3 young children. We came to Florida and bought a 5-acre farm, and we owned a local cab company in our small town. One day, we had been unpacking, and we decided to go outside in the yard and play, and I was doing cartwheels, and I blew my knee out. I was prescribed pain medication. I was working a lot of hours. I had a mortgage, and I had to work. We worked on concrete floors with grease spills and things like that, and it was very hard to heal with my knee when you're constantly holding that muscle together to make sure you're stable on a slippery floor. The more I worked, the more pain I had. Going back and forth to the doctor, got to the highest dose, I would move on to the next medication. I would move to the next medication until eventually I was on the highest pain medication there was. And unfortunately, by the time it was done, I ended up trying harder drugs when those pain pills weren't available anymore. After my addiction took hold, I ended up losing everything. I lost my 5-acre farm, I lost my business, and the day I went to prison, I lost my children. My first night in prison, I was scared to death. I had never been arrested in my life. Regardless of what the charge was, prison saved my life. I knew that something in my life had to change. I just didn't know where to even begin. When I was in prison, I started taking every self-help class that I had available to me. I took AA, NA, anger management, victim impact, and every other possible course I could take. I learned the root of the cause. I was miserable in my life. I was miserable with my job. I had to find out what was going to make me happy. When I was released from prison, I went into a program called Operation New Hope. They paid for my transition house for 5 months, gave me the opportunity to take classes, and one of the first things they did was they gave me a $45 gift card to Goodwill, and I was able to go to a Goodwill retail store and buy clothes for the first time in over 5 years.
Operation New Hope has been around for about 25 years, and we are considered a reentry organization. So we help people who've been affected by the justice system sort of rebuild their lives. Our partnership with Goodwill has been phenomenal. Not only does Goodwill hire the folks that go through our program, they help us provide some of the wraparound services that our clients need, like clothing, like their A-Step program, and all the services that are provided through that.
When I came out of prison, I decided I wanted to enjoy and respect my job, and I wanted to help people. When I went shopping for my clothes, I also noticed that there was a good career center there next door. And when it came time to apply for a job, I went to the career center. Before I even left the building, I had already received a call from Tamika.
Sherri was very, very excited about giving the opportunity to work for Goodwill. She did want to be, for some reason, she wanted to be a forklift driver, and I kind of convinced her to join my team.
The first day I met Tamika was the very next day. Here comes Tamika, this tiny little burst of energy that just started running around the building and showing me so many different ways to do our job. She amazed me.
I love that Sherri is not afraid to stand on conviction. She's not afraid to stand up for herself and stand up for others. And she's not afraid to be the face of the mission. And to also watch her tell someone else, you're not quitting. We're gonna get through this together.
I originally started out as a donation center attendant. I became a trainer. After I was able to purchase my first vehicle, I became a floater. And not long after that, I became an assistant manager of the donation centers. At Goodwill, we believe in breaking barriers. making it easier for you to adjust to re-entering the workforce.
We stand on what we believe in. We stand on what our mission statement is. We are about removing barriers to employment and education. I used to see it as if she was standing on my shoulders. Now I'm standing on hers. I like to believe that at some point in any of that, it's me shining through her to give it back to me and to give it back to others.
When you come out of prison, society has a way of labeling you as a drug addict, and you really have to reintroduce yourself as a brand new person. And I find it easier to share my story and let people know, yes, I made mistakes in my life, but I have paid my debt back to society and I've changed my life.